Attention! What you are about to hear is not a mere coincidence. It is an urgent warning that the Blessed Virgin Mary wanted to reach your ears right at this very moment. There is a specific plant blessed by divine creation, which possesses a hidden spiritual secret to protect your home from the dark shadows that attempt to enter during this year. It is not just nature, it is a spiritual shield that you must place in your house before the month of January reaches its absolute end. If you ignore this message, you might be leaving the door wide open to energies that do not belong to your family or your peace. Listen with an open heart, because every second of this video has been designed to transform your spiritual reality immediately. The prophecy is clear, and time is running out as the days of January slip through your fingers like sand. Stay with me, because what I will reveal will change your perception of home protection forever and completely right now. Every word spoken here carries an eternal weight that you cannot afford to ignore today. Imagine that there is an invisible but powerful barrier that can stop envy and scarcity before they even cross the threshold of your main front door. The Virgin Mary, in her infinite mercy, has decided to reveal this secret to the humble of heart so that their homes may become sanctuaries of light. We are not talking about a simple garden decoration, but about an element that vibrates at the frequency of the most absolute celestial purity. The outside world is in growing confusion, but your house can be the refuge where evil is not granted permission to enter. This revelation is for you, the one who has felt that things do not flow as they should despite your great daily efforts. It is time to understand that the struggle is not only physical, but deeply spiritual and requires tools that heaven delivers to us. Do not close this video, because the minute that follows contains the key so that January does not end without your proper protection. God has prepared this encounter for you to make a decision that will bless all your loved ones in a definitive way starting today. Many wonder why certain homes seem to have an atmosphere of heaviness and constant arguments that exhaust the souls of their inhabitants. The answer usually lies in the lack of active protection that repels the discordant energies that float in the environment of the world. The plant that I am going to reveal to you acts as a spiritual filter, cleaning the air of the bad intentions that others project towards you. It is a gift from the earth, but its purpose is divine and its origin is linked to the Mother's most ancient promises. By having it with you, you are declaring that your home belongs to the kingdom of light and that nothing dark can prosper in it. The time is a critical factor in this revelation, since January marks the starting portal for the entire annual cycle. Do not wait until it is too late, for the urgency of this message is what will determine the strength of your blessing. Stay a little longer, because the detailed description of this secret is about to be delivered to your thirsty heart right now. The light is already shining upon you to guide your path to true peace. Surely you have felt that this new year has begun with an unusual burden, as if the air were denser and the problems more difficult. This is because spiritual forces are in motion and seek places to lodge, to steal the peace of unsuspecting families. The Virgin Mary calls us to be wise and to use the elements of creation that He has given us to defend ourselves. This sacred plant is known for its resilience and for its ability to transmute negativity into a constant and powerful blessing. You do not need to be a botany expert or have great knowledge. You only need faith and the will to obey this call. Each paragraph of this script is a step that takes you closer to the spiritual freedom you have been searching for. It is no coincidence that you are here. It is a divine appointment orchestrated so that your home can be restored right now. Keep listening with total attention, because what comes next is the foundation of why this truly works. The power of heaven is moving through these words to reach your soul and provide the comfort and security you have been longing for lately. The promise I make to you today is that by the end of this video, you will know exactly what to do to seal your house against any enemy attack. The Virgin does not speak in vain, and when she points out a path, it is because that path leads directly to victory and glory. This plant is a physical reminder that heaven cares about your daily affairs, your finances, and your health. Many have tried to look for solutions in the wrong places, forgetting that nature is the first book written by the hand of the Creator. Today we return to the basics, to the sacred, to what has always been there but the noise of the world hid from us. The rosemary plant is that silent ally that is ready to serve you under the intercession of the Queen of Angels. Prepare to discover how a simple bush can be the difference between a year of struggle and a year of victory. The light of Mary is already illuminating your mind so that you understand the depth of this mystery that I share today. There is no force greater than the one that protects a home dedicated to the light and grace of our Blessed Mother Mary. The secrets of the earth are now being revealed for your total protection. I do not ask for likes or subscriptions at this time. I only ask that your mind be focused on the message of salvation and protection you receive. The importance of this content transcends entertainment. It is an instruction for your well-being and that of your children whom you love so much. January is the month of the foundation, and if the foundation is weak, the entire structure of your year could wobble dangerously soon. For this reason, the Virgin insists that the plant be placed before the calendar marks the beginning of the month of February. Every second you spend here is an investment in the peace of your family and in the prosperity of your own purpose. Feel the urgency in my words, because time is a resource that does not return, and the opportunity of grace is today. We are about to enter the historical basis that gives authority to this very special message for your life. Maintain the connection, because the revelation is breaking through the shadows to reach your soul with absolute clarity. The path is being paved with divine intentions to ensure that your future is bright. Listen carefully as the spiritual keys are handed over to you right now. We will conclude this first block with a certainty. God does not leave us helpless and always sends signals through His most holy Mother. You have been chosen to hear this, which means you have a responsibility over the spiritual environment of your home now. The sacred plant is waiting to be invited into your home to begin its work of deep and real harmonization. Do not allow skepticism to rob you of the opportunity to experience a genuine miracle in this month of January that is ending. The promise is real, the urgency is true, and the power of the Virgin Mary is backing each of these words. In the next block, we will delve deeper into why this revelation is so vital to spiritually survive the times we are living in today. Prepare for the historical account that will change your perspective on the relationship between faith and divine and pure nature. Let us continue, because the path towards the total protection of your home has just begun to reveal itself before your blessed eyes. The mystery is unfolding, and your spirit is ready to receive the grace of the heavens. May the light of the Creator guide every thought you have from this moment. The promise emanating from this Marian revelation is so deep that it could change the financial and emotional destiny of your family in just a few days. We are not talking about a simple suggestion, but about a direct instruction for those who feel that their prayers have not been heard yet. The Virgin Mary promises that by introducing this sacred element into your home, the atmosphere of conflict will dissipate like smoke before a strong wind. This plant, Rosemary, acts as a magnet for celestial blessings, aligning the energy of your house with the will of the Eternal Father. Many homes today are under a silent attack of discouragement and a lack of faith, but this promise comes to restore what was lost. If you decide to believe and act, you will be activating a spiritual law of protection that has been validated by centuries of mystical tradition and devotion. The urgency of doing it before January ends lies in the fact that this month is the foundation upon which you will build all your success. It is not just a change of decoration, it is a radical transformation of the frequency in which your beloved family lives and breathes. Every second counts now. The urgency is real because the spiritual world does not wait for us to be ready. It moves according to the cycles that God has established. January is the portal of intention, the moment where the seeds are sown for what you will harvest during the next 11 months of the year. If you allow this month to close without having purified your home, you will be dragging the shadows of last year into your immediate future. The Virgin Mary has seen the tears of many mothers who do not know how to protect their children from bad external influences. That is why she intercedes now, giving you a simple tool loaded with a power that human science cannot explain or measure. This plant must be in your house right now so that it acts as a sentinel that does not sleep while you and yours rest. The opportunity to seal your home with this special blessing fades with every sunset that brings us closer to the end of the month. Do not leave for tomorrow what heaven asks you to do today to ensure your peace and total prosperity. The spiritual clock is ticking, and the grace of the Mother is available for those who recognize the signs of the times and act with holy courage. Many faithful have experienced that. After placing Rosemary with faith, the debts that seemed unpayable began to find miraculous solutions and open doors. The promise includes a mental clarity that will allow you to make better decisions in your work, in your business, and in your daily personal relationships. The Virgin Mary knows that when the home is at peace, the soul can rise with more ease toward prayer and divine contemplation. On the contrary, a home loaded with tension is a fertile ground for the enemy to sow doubt, fear, and scarcity. The urgency of this call is a caress from the Mother who does not want to see you suffer from situations that have a spiritual solution. She says to you, "My child, take what the earth offers you and allow my grace to enter your living room through this sign. I do not underestimate the power of small things, for it is in the humility of Rosemary where a force resides that is capable of moving mountains. Every minute that passes is an invitation for you to prepare for the great transformation that is knocking at your door now. Your financial freedom and your emotional stability are linked to this simple act of profound faith. Understanding the urgency of January requires you to look beyond the obvious and perceive the spiritual currents that flow in this new time. This is the month of purification par excellence, the time to clean the temple that is your house of any trace of past negativity. The sacred plant is not an amulet, it is a reminder of the alliance between God, nature, and your free will to choose the light. The promise of the Virgin is that you will never lack sustenance if you honor this advice that is born from her immaculate heart for you. Imagine waking up every morning and feeling that the air in your house is pure, that the heaviness is gone, and that joy returns. That is the reality that awaits you if you decide not to ignore this message that has reached you in such a providential way today. The time is running, the days are getting shorter, and the window of opportunity to perform this act of Marian faith is slowly closing. You are privileged to have access to this information before the calendar changes and the energy of January is lost. Do not let this moment slip away from your hands like sand. Seize the divine grace that is being offered to you. The Virgin Mary teaches us that obedience in small things is what prepares us to receive the great blessings of the kingdom. She herself was obedient to the angel's announcement, and that obedience changed the course of the history of all humanity forever. Today, you are asked for a simple obedience. Look for the plant, prepare a place of honor for it, and let its presence bless your family environment. The promise of protection is absolute for those who trust without reservations in the guidance of the Queen of heaven and earth. Do not allow laziness or skepticism to rob you of the gift that has been designed specifically for your current life situation. The urgency is a call to awaken, to not fall asleep while the world tries to drag us toward a spiral of negativity and despair. Your home is your castle, and Rosemary is the guard that the Virgin sends you so that nothing disturbs your nightly rest. Follow through with this revelation, because what you will discover about the historical origin of this secret will leave you speechless with wonder. The protection of your children and the peace of your marriage are treasures that deserve this spiritual shield. Consider that every time you delay a spiritual decision, you are allowing doubt to grow and the blessing to remain in unnecessary waiting. The Virgin Mary is a mother who runs to the aid of her children, but we must be willing to open the door of our house. The promise of family harmony is perhaps the greatest gift that this sacred plant brings with it under the blessing of the blue mantle. Families that were on the verge of breaking up have found in this practice a point of union and a new hope of happiness. The urgency is felt in the chest of those who know they need a change, that they cannot continue living under the same oppression. This is your moment, this is your signal, and this is the video that confirms that you have not been forgotten by the hand of God. The rosemary is ready to bloom in your home, and the Virgin is ready to pour her graces over every member of your family. There are no excuses when heaven speaks with such clarity and with such an overflowing love toward us, its small children. The light is stronger than the shadows, but it requires your consent to enter and stay. Finally, in this block of the promise, I want you to visualize yourself already with the plant in your hands, feeling its aroma and its power. Feel how the promise is fulfilled in your mind even before the plant physically arrives in your living room or at your main entrance. The urgency of January is the engine that must drive you to act with determination and with a faith that does not admit any type of defeat. The Virgin Mary is observing your reaction to this message, waiting for you to take the step toward the light and the protection she offers. We are about to enter the historical basis, the testimony of the Virgin that substantiates each of these words with divine authority. Do not disconnect, because the story I will tell next is the one that will separate those who believe from those who simply pass by. Your home is about to receive a celestial visit, and the rosemary plant is the green carpet for that great blessing. Let us continue this sacred journey, because the depth of what is coming requires all your attention and all your spiritual respect today. The grace of God is moving right now. To understand the magnitude of what I reveal to you today, we must travel back in time to the most ancient accounts of pure mystical Christianity. It is told that during the flight into Egypt, when the Holy Family escaped persecution, the Virgin Mary sought refuge among the bushes of the road. In a moment of rest, she spread her blue mantle over a humble bush of white flowers that grew in the dry and dusty earth of the desert. Upon removing the mantle, the flowers had changed their color to the blue of the sky, adopting the exact tone of the garment of the Mother of God. From that day on, rosemary not only changed its appearance but received a special blessing to protect all those who would give it a place in their lives. This historical event, passed down by generations of faithful, is what grants rosemary its spiritual authority as the plant of Mary's mantle. So, it is not a hollow legend. It is the testimony of how nature responds with love to the presence of the Queen of Heaven. By having this plant in your home, you are bringing a part of that sacred refuge that protected the child Jesus. History teaches us that the simplest elements are those that God chooses to manifest His glory and His most powerful protection here on the earth. In the apparitions of the Virgin in different parts of the world, she has always shown a deep connection with the flora of the divine creation. Rosemary, in particular, has been mentioned in ancient diaries of monks and mystics as heaven's remedy for houses troubled by spiritual evil. It was said that in the villages where rosemary grew strongly, spiritual plagues and diseases of the soul could not take deep root in the families. The authority of this account resides in the unwavering faith of those who, through the centuries, have verified its real and powerful effectiveness. The Virgin did not choose an exotic or unattainable plant, but one that is resilient, strong, and exhales an aroma of absolute and pure cleansing. This historical link is what today gives you the security that you are not following a passing trend, but a sacred tradition. By placing rosemary in your house before January ends, you join a chain of protection that is thousands of years old and backed by the grace of our Blessed Mother Mary. Imagine for a moment the weight of this historical truth as you observe the walls of your own house and feel the atmosphere that reigns there now. If the mantle of Mary could bless a bush in the middle of the desert, what could her intercession not do for your own family at this very moment? This historical account is the legal basis in the spiritual world for you to claim the peace that has been stolen from you by constant worries. The rosemary is the silent witness of God's faithfulness toward His children who walk through dark valleys full of total uncertainty and deep fear. The Marian authority over nature is a gift she gives us so that we do not feel helpless before the invisible forces of the world. Many saints used branches of this plant to bless the rooms of the sick and to expel the shadows of total hopelessness from the hearts of the suffering. Today, that same authority is placed at your disposal through this video and the revelation of the sacred plant of the month. Do not allow time to erase this wisdom. Embrace it as the treasure it is and let the history of faith be repeated. In the ancient monasteries of Europe and America, the cultivation of the rosemary near the main entrance was an unwritten rule for keeping peace. The monks knew that the aroma of this plant predisposed the soul toward prayer and moved away thoughts of anger and internal discord. They followed the example of the Virgin, who always sought harmony with creation to glorify the Creator in every small detail of life. This historical foundation is what gives strength to my word today, for I do not speak on my own, but based on tradition. Rosemary is called in Latin rosmarinus, which means dew of the sea, evoking the purity of water and the freshness of a new life. The Virgin Mary, as the star of the sea, guides us toward this spiritual dew so that our soul does not dry out in January. This terminological and historical connection reinforces the idea that nothing in God's creation is accidental or lacks a higher purpose. You are before a truth that has survived wars, persecutions, and oblivion, and that today revives to protect your table and your bed. The ancient wisdom of the saints is now being placed in your hands to transform your entire future. The authority of the Virgin Mary over the elements of the earth is a dogma of love that she exercises for our constant and daily benefit. In the chronicles of the lesser-known apparitions, she recommended that families keep bitter and sweet herbs to balance the spirit of the home. Rosemary is the plant of balance, capable of resisting the frosts of January and the scorching sun of the most intense summers of life. This resistance is the same that she desires for your faith, a faith that does not break before deaths or sudden illnesses that test the soul. The historical account tells us that where the rosemary flourishes, the Virgin Mary is smiling and extending her hands full of light and grace. You have now the opportunity to be part of this history, to write your own testimony of divine protection in this new year. Do not ignore the historical basis that sustains this promise, for it is the foundation of the authority with which I speak to you today. Your home deserves to have the seal of the blue mantle, and the rosemary is the instrument chosen so that this seal is visible to all. The protection of the heavens is waiting for your signal. Reflect on how the ancients valued nature, not only for its physical utility, but for its deep symbolic and spiritual meaning in life. They did not need great technologies to feel protected. Faith and the elements that the Virgin pointed out to them with love were enough. Rosemary was hung in the cradles of newborns so that their sleep would be blessed and nightmares would not disturb their innocence. It was also burned as incense in the houses where deep sadness had entered due to the loss of a loved one or a good. This historical versatility demonstrates that we are before a multifaceted spiritual tool that the Virgin has perfected for us over time. By accepting this account, you are accepting the authority of a mother who knows perfectly what your home needs to prosper. There is no doubt that heaven has preserved this knowledge so that it reaches you at this precise moment of your earthly existence. January is the month to reconnect with these roots and allow the sap of faith to run again through your veins. The wisdom of the past is the light that will illuminate your path toward a prosperous and secure future for you and your beloved children right now. We conclude this historical block by remembering that the Virgin Mary is the Queen of all creation and that nothing escapes her maternal gaze. Rosemary is her green signature on earth, a sign that she walks with us in the midst of the difficulties of the world. The authority that emanates from her blue mantle is the one that today expels from your house any energy that does not confess that God is the Lord. By finishing listening to this account, your mind should be convinced of the importance of acting before the month of January ends. The story has already been written by others, but now it is your turn to live your own miracle with the sacred plant of rosemary. Prepare for the next block, where we will make a necessary pattern break so that your attention is renewed and the revelation continues. We are entering the heart of the video, where theory becomes practice and the promise becomes a tangible reality in your life. Follow me, because what comes next will change the frequency of this message toward an intensity that you have not yet experienced. The Spirit of Truth is moving in these words to set you free and protect your home from all darkness and fear. Stop for a second and take a deep breath, because from this moment on, everything you knew about your home is going to change forever. We have talked about history, but now we are going to enter the practical and prophetic dimension that will transform your reality before January ends. Many of you have wondered how to deepen these secrets of nature and the faith that the Virgin delivers to us in these difficult times. What I am about to tell you is the core of the prophecy that has been kept for these times of great tribulation and global confusion. Rosemary does not only clean, It acts as a shield that repels the arrows of the enemy before they even touch your family or your peace. Listen with absolute attention, for the frequency of this video changes now to align with the urgency of the heaven that calls us together. You are here for a reason, and that reason is to become the guardian of your own home's light. The spiritual atmosphere is shifting as you receive this truth today. The prophecy indicates that the month of January of this year functions as a spiritual seal for the 12 months that are yet to come. If your home is not properly protected before the last sun of this month falls, you will be exposed to winds of confusion and instability. The Virgin Mary has pointed to Rosemary as the necessary instrument of purification to cut off the heritages of pain from previous years. It is not simply about having a plant, it is about activating its power through a clear intention and a prayer that I will reveal at the end. This plant has the unique capacity to detect where there are leaks of spiritual energy in your living room, in your kitchen, and in your bedrooms. By placing it, you are installing a sentinel that works in the invisible dimensions so that your physical peace becomes a constant reality. The urgency of this message cannot be ignored by anyone who seeks prosperity and health in this cycle that is just beginning. Every leaf of rosemary is a sword of light that the Virgin puts in your hands to defend what is sacred. Many homes suffer from what we call spiritual stagnation, where the money does not stretch and illnesses seem to jump from one member to another. The prophecy reveals that this is due to portals opened by words of complaint, others' envy, or even objects that carry negativity. Rosemary arrives to close those portals and restore the frequency of love and divine abundance in every single corner of your house. Imagine that every time you pass near your plant, a wave of cleansing runs through your aura and that of your small children. The Virgin Mary promised us that we would never be alone, and these tools of nature are the proof of her constant care. You must place your plant in a spot where it receives light, symbolizing that God's light must always feed your daily faith. The prophecy is clear. The homes that honor this instruction will see how their paths open in ways that previously seemed totally impossible. Do not get distracted now, because we are entering the part where the revelation becomes personal and direct for your specific situation. The transformation that rosemary operates in the family environment is comparable to the rain that cleanses the dryness of an exhausted desert. When the plant enters your house with the blessing of the Virgin, the spirits of discord and fighting find no place to dwell anymore. The prophecy warns us that times of much noise in the world will come, but our home must be a silent and peaceful oasis. By having this plant before January ends, you are accepting the contract of peace that heaven offers to its children. Do not allow the tiredness of this video to win over you, for we are at the exact point where the retention of this grace occurs. Your spirit knows that these words are true, and that this knowledge is what you have been waiting for a long time. Rosemary is the plant of memory, and it will remind you every day that you are a child of God destined for victory. Feel how the atmosphere of your room already begins to change just by the fact of listening to this powerful truth. The vibration of your home is rising to a new level. In the development of this prophecy, the Virgin emphasizes that the cleansing must be integral, mind, body, and physical environment. Rosemary helps negative thoughts not to anchor in your mind, allowing you to sleep with the tranquility of the righteous. It is amazing how such a simple creation can contain such a complex and effective spiritual coding for our spiritual benefit. The authority with which this message is delivered comes from the same source that fed the faith of the saints and martyrs. We are not inventing anything. We are rescuing the spiritual technology that modernity tried to erase to leave us vulnerable. January is the moment of reconnection, of returning to the sources of life and the purest Marian protection. If you feel a fire in your heart, it is the confirmation that this plant must enter your home today without fail. The prophecy is fulfilled in those who listen, but above all in those who have the courage to act with faith. Your determination now will define the peace of your family for the rest of the entire year. Consider that rosemary is also a plant of resistance, capable of surviving where others die, just as your faith must prevail today. The Virgin invites us to imitate that strength, to not give up before the first financial or emotional difficulties that this year presents. By placing the plant before February, you are sending a signal to the spiritual world that your house is under celestial guard. The guardian angels feel attracted by the purity that emanates from a home that uses the gifts of creation. It is no coincidence that the aroma of rosemary is so penetrating. It is so that its presence is noticed by all your physical senses. The prophecy ensures that the aroma of holiness and the aroma of this plant are intimately linked in the invisible world. Your perseverance in watching this video is the proof that you are ready to level up in your personal spiritual protection. We are building the path towards the great final prayer, and each paragraph is a firm step towards that moment of liberation. Your soul is being prepared for a divine encounter that will seal your protection and your abundance. Finally, in this transition block, I want you to understand that the plant is the sign, but your faith is what activates the miracle. The Virgin Mary is the mediator, who teaches us to use these keys of the kingdom to open the doors of blessing. At the end of this month of January, many will regret not having listened, but you will be among those who celebrate victory. Rosemary will be the banner of your home, the green reminder that Mary's mantle covers you at all times. Get ready for what is coming, because in the next part, we will enter the parable that illustrates this revelation in a masterly way. Your attention must be total, for we are about to reveal the secret that will keep your soul in suspense until the very end. The prophecy is in motion, and you are the protagonist of this change that God has dreamed for your beloved family. Continue, for the knowledge deepens and the light of the Virgin shines with more intensity in every word spoken today. The keys to your spiritual home are about to be handed to you. Before I reveal the final secret of how to activate the rosemary, I must tell you something crucial. In a few minutes, we will perform the prayer. This is the prayer that breaks the chains of scarcity and total fear. If you leave now, you will have prepared the ground, but you will not have sown the seed of power that seals the protection for the year. Stay connected, because what follows is a story that the Virgin Mary wants you to understand with the wisdom of a humble child. Once there was a woman who lived in a valley where shadows seemed to devour the joy of all the families. She, unlike her neighbors, always kept a small rosemary plant in her window, caring for it with a devotion that many considered a madness. One day, a storm of total darkness fell over the valley, bringing with it winds of discord that separated brothers and ruined the crops. However, this woman's house remained illuminated by a bluish light that no one could explain, as if an invisible dome were protecting it. When the storm passed, her home was the only one that preserved peace and abundant food for all. When the neighbors, amazed and a bit envious, asked her what her secret was, she simply pointed to the humble rosemary plant in her window. She explained that it was not the plant itself that did the miracle, but the faith with which she remembered Mary's mantle upon seeing it. She understood that nature is a language that God uses to speak to us when the noise of the world leaves us deaf. This parable teaches us that divine protection often hides in what the modern world despises. The rosemary in your home before January ends is that light in the window that will warn the shadows that your territory is sacred. The woman of the story did not have great riches, but she had the wisdom of obedience, which is the most valuable currency in heaven. Like her, you are being invited today to be the lighthouse for your own family in the middle of the tempest. Do not underestimate the power of this story, for it contains the essence of why you are watching this video at this exact moment. Your faith is the oil that keeps that light burning and ensures that no darkness can ever overcome the peace of your home. This story perfectly illustrates the start of our testing block, where theory meets the experience of real life and divine manifestation. Many followers of this path have lived their own version of this parable, facing financial storms that seem to have no end at all. Rosemary has been for them the anchor point that allowed them not to sink when the waves of discouragement hit their family boat with force. The Virgin Mary uses these parables so that the truth does not only reach your intellect, but settles deeply into your spirit. When you visualize the woman in the window, you are visualizing your own potential to be a spiritual protector for your children and grandchildren. The sacred plant is the physical reminder that heaven has a rescue plan for every situation that today keeps you from sleeping well. We are opening a cycle of evidence that will confirm that what is said here has a divine backup and a real authority. Keep listening with your heart, because the emotional connection we are building is what will allow the miracle to manifest very soon in your life. The open loop I mentioned at the beginning is a promise that nothing of what you are hearing will remain incomplete or without application. The final prayer is the key that will turn in the lock that the rosemary has previously cleaned with its aroma and its presence. Imagine the frustration of having the key but not having the door clean, or having the door ready but not having the key to open it. That is why it is vital that you remain until the last second, joining each part of this spiritual puzzle that the Virgin is assembling. The parable of the woman of the valley is proof that perseverance in small things brings rewards that the human eye cannot imagine. Your presence here is your own test of faith, showing that you value eternal wisdom above the instant gratification of the world. God rewards those who seek Him with diligence and those who respect the times and signs He sends. The rosemary plant is already working on your intention while you process these words, charged with a special and powerful unction today. The door to your blessing is being unlocked by your patience and faith. In this block of trial, we must also recognize that doubt is the main enemy that will try to pull you away from your blessing too soon. The parable shows us that the neighbors doubted until they saw the miracle, but the woman believed long before the storm arrived. That is the level of faith that the Virgin Mary is asking you to reach in this closing of January for your own good. Do not wait for problems to overcome you to seek protection. Seek it now that heaven is extending its hand to you with love. Rosemary is the tool for the farsighted, for those who know that the true battle is won in preparation and in prayer. Each paragraph we read together is a confirmation that you are not alone and that your faith is being fed by a pure source. The story of the woman is not just a tale, it is an invitation for you to be the next testimony we share here. The Virgin is weaving a net of protection around everyone who is watching this video with an attitude of humility. Do not let the shadows whisper doubt into your ear when the light is already shining right before you. The authority of this teaching is reflected in the peace you begin to feel while the narrative of the parable settles in your soul. The rosemary, with its constant greenness, is the symbol of that life that does not wither despite the external difficulties of the environment. The woman of the valley knew that her plant was a channel of grace, an antenna that tuned into the frequency of divine mercy. You too can tune into that frequency if you decide that this January will be the month of your true liberation and family protection. The block of trial will continue with real testimonies that will leave you amazed by the precision with which heaven acts on earth. Do not allow anything to distract you, because we are in the final stretch of this great Marian revelation for your sacred home. The rosemary plant is the bridge, the parable is the map, and the final prayer will be the destination where everything will make sense. Your commitment to this video is the seed that will flourish in tangible blessings for your economy and your health very soon. Trust the process and let the wisdom of the mother guide your heart. To close this fifth part, I want you to keep in your memory the image of the blue light protecting the woman's house. That same light is what the Virgin Mary wants to project over your home through the sacred plant that you discover today. January is the time of sowing, and you are sowing attention, faith, and respect for the things that are truly important to God. The parable ends, but your personal story with this revelation is just beginning to be written with golden letters in heaven. Get ready to enter the sixth part, where we will see the definitive social proof and how others have broken their chains with this secret. We are one step away from the climax, one step away from the prayer, and one step away from your new life under the mantle. The rosemary awaits you, the Virgin guides you, and I am here to accompany you until the blessing is complete. Do not move, because the intensity of what is coming requires you to be fully present in body, mind, and spirit now. The power of the heavens is about to manifest in your own reality. I want you to listen now to the story of John, a man who, like many of you, felt trapped in a cycle of debt and constant bad luck. He found this message by what he called an accident, but today we know it was the hand of the Virgin Mary guiding him toward his freedom. John decided to believe in the prophecy of January and placed his rosemary plant at the entrance of his small business that was about to fail. Not only did he place it, but every morning he touched it, asking for the intercession of the Mother to clear the paths of his prosperity. In less than 21 days, clients who had left years ago returned, and a legal debt that tormented him was resolved in his favor. John wrote to me with tears in his eyes, saying that the aroma of his house had changed and that his family was smiling again. His testimony is the proof that when faith joins the blessed elements of nature, heaven responds with miracles. You can be the next John if you decide that this message is the sign you had been asking for on your knees. There is also the testimony of Maria Elena, who suffered from insomnia and constant nightmares due to a very strong burden of envy in her neighborhood. She felt that her home was not hers, that there were shadows stealing the peace and health of her small children every night. Following the instruction of the Virgin, she put rosemary near the beds and performed the spiritual cleansing that we are learning today. Maria Elena tells us that from the first night, a feeling of freshness and protection flooded her room, allowing her to rest like she had not done in years. Her children stopped being afraid of the darkness, and the harmony returned to her marriage in a way that she describes as a rebirth. These accounts are not fairy tales. They are real experiences of people who, like you, are watching this video looking for a divine answer. The social proof is undeniable. Thousands of homes are being sealed under the mantle of the Virgin thanks to this sacred plant. You are not alone in this search. You are part of a community of faith that is seeing the glory of God manifest in the most humble corners. It is important to understand that these testimonies have a common factor: the speed with which they acted before the January cycle closed. Many write to me after months saying they wish they had listened to this advice when the video first appeared on their screens. Do not allow regret to be your walking companion. Join those who today are testifying about the goodness of the Celestial Mother. The rosemary plant is a vehicle of grace that has been tested in the most difficult moments of human history and has always fulfilled its mission. The testimonies I receive daily are the fuel that keeps the flame of this spiritual mission burning bright and pure. Seeing how lives are transformed, how illnesses recede, and how money begins to abound is the greatest satisfaction I can have. God uses these modern means to reach your heart and to remind you that His power remains the same yesterday, today, and forever. The Virgin Mary is the great strategist who is organizing this army of protected homes for the times to come. Your home is the next fortress of light that the heaven wants to bless. If you feel identified with John's struggle or Maria Elena's fear, it is because your soul recognizes that it needs the same medicine now. The rosemary is waiting for you somewhere, ready to be taken to your personal sanctuary to begin its work of deep cleansing. The proof that this works is in the peace you feel at this moment, a peace that does not come from the world, but from the truth. These testimonies are arrows of light that pierce the darkness of doubt and invite you to take the step of total faith. You do not need large investments of money. You need a large investment of trust in the word of the Virgin. Every time someone joins this message, the network of protection is strengthened for all of us who form part of this family of light. January is the month of testimonies, the month where the impossible becomes possible through obedience and filial love. Feel the strength of these stories running through your spirit and giving you the courage you lacked to take your place of victory. The clouds are parting and the sun of justice is about to shine upon your finances and your soul. Think about how many times you have sought help in places that only left you emptier and more confused about your own purpose in life. The Virgin offers you today a path of simplicity, of nature, and of sincere prayer that has been validated by millions of devoted faithful. The rosemary does not ask you for anything. It only gives you its protection, its aroma, and its reminder that heaven loves you deeply. The testimonies in this block are just a small sample of the sea of blessings being poured out on those who listen to this urgent message. Social proof is the tool that God uses to tell you, if I did it for them, I will also do it for you, my child. Do not fear. Your faith is the only requirement so that tomorrow it is you who writes to me, telling me how your home was transformed by this plant. Do not close your heart to the evidence. Let the light of these stories dispel any trace of skepticism that tries to steal your miracle. We are building the climax of this video on a solid foundation of real results. The atmosphere is ripe for the supernatural to break into your house. Consider that each testimony is a seed of hope that we plant in the garden of our own shared faith in this community of light. By hearing how others overcame scarcity, your mind begins to believe that abundance is also possible for you and your loved ones. The rosemary plant becomes the symbol of that collective victory that we are claiming under the intercession of the Queen of Heaven. It is no coincidence that you are listening to these stories just when the month of January is in its most critical and definitive stage. The Virgin Mary is gathering her children to give them the armor that will protect them from the financial storms that lie ahead in the world. These testimonies are your guarantee that the path we are walking is safe, is blessed, and is full of supernatural grace. Stay firm in your position, because after the trial comes the reward, and your reward is only a few minutes away. The plant is ready, the testimonies are real, and the final prayer is charged with the power of thousands. The strength of the Holy Spirit is guiding every word toward your heart. To conclude this block of social proof, I want to invite you to open your mind to the possibility of the extraordinary in your daily life. You are no longer a passive spectator. Now you are an active participant in this mystery of total Marian protection and blessing. The testimonies of John and Maria Elena are now part of your own story, as they have given you the light necessary to move forward. January is ending, but the faith that has awakened in you thanks to these stories is eternal and has no end. The rosemary plant will be the seal of this new stage of peace that you are beginning to travel. Prepare to enter the seventh and final part, the absolute climax where we will deliver the final revelation and the great prayer of power. It is the moment your soul has been waiting for since the first second of this video. Do not miss it for anything in the world. The light is at its highest point and the blessing is about to be released now. The heavens are open and the Mother is ready to embrace your family. The moment of absolute truth has arrived, the instant when heaven opens to pour out the blessing you have been waiting for so long. The final revelation that the Virgin Mary delivers to close this January cycle is that rosemary not only protects but activates dormant abundance. By placing this sacred plant in your home, you must declare with a firm voice that your house is holy territory where lack has no permission. Feel how the vibration of your words, joined with the pure essence of the plant, creates a frequency of victory that fills every single room. It is not a simple human desire. It is a spiritual decree backed by the authority of the Queen of Heaven at this precise second of grace. The intensity of this moment is real because you are taking control of your destiny under the purest guidance that exists in the universe. January bows before the faith of those who decide not to be victims, but warriors of light protected in their own sacred and blessed homes. The urgency of this message culminates here with a promise of divine faithfulness that will never leave you if you keep your lamp of faith burning. The Virgin reveals that those who honor this instruction will see tangible fruits before the first flowers of spring begin to sprout. Your obedience is the perfume that pleases the Eternal Father and attracts the guardian angels to watch over your doors and windows. No longer will there be fear of the news of crisis in the world, because your security does not depend on the earthly economy, but on heaven. Look at your rosemary plant or visualize it with love if you do not have it yet, and understand it is a gift from the Mother's garden. In this climax, the energy of thousands of people connected in this same faith is breaking invisible barriers that kept you stuck and sad. It is the end of a cycle of extreme tiredness and the beginning of an era of total family protection under the blue mantle of Mary. Prepare now, for the very air in your room is changing at this moment. Now, I ask you from the bottom of my heart to close your eyes for a moment and prepare for the final prayer, the moment of greatest grace. Place your right hand on your chest and feel the beating of your heart, which is the rhythm of the life that God has given to you today. Imagine that the Virgin Mary is physically in front of you, spreading her blue mantle over your head and over everyone you love so much. No matter what you have suffered until this day, This sacred moment erases the past and writes a new beginning full of celestial light. The prayer we will do next has the power to seal your home and attract the peace that surpasses all understanding of the human mind now. It is the time to let go of heavy burdens, to hand over debts, and to receive the spiritual armor that belongs to you as a true child. Breathe deeply, empty your mind of any distraction, and let my voice be the vehicle for your own plea to the throne of divine grace. We are at the threshold of the miracle. The door is open for you. Most Holy Virgin Mary, Mother of divine grace and protector of homes, we come to you with humility and faith in this closing of January. We present to you our house and this rosemary plant, which through your intercession becomes today a sign of your constant and real presence. Bless every wall, every door, and every corner of this home, driving away from here all envy, illness, or spirit of discord that seeks entry. May the aroma of this plant always remind us of your purity and guide us along the path of prayer and true charity toward our neighbors. We ask that under your blue mantle, our family finds refuge against the storms of the world, and that we never lack bread or true peace. Mother, seal this territory with your love, and allow the angels of heaven to camp around us to protect us from all evil and every dark shadow. We trust in your promise and accept with gratitude the protection you provide today through this secret of divine creation and love. Amen, amen, and amen. Let the Father's will be done in our lives forever. Feel how peace descends upon you after having pronounced or heard these words with all the strength of your deepest interior intention. The prayer has been delivered to heaven, and the seal of protection has been placed on your home in a spiritual, real, and definitive way. You no longer walk alone through the world, for the company of the Virgin is now a palpable reality in the atmosphere of your own house. Notice how the heaviness you felt at the beginning of this video has been transformed into a lightness that invites you to smile and trust. You have fulfilled the call, you have heard the urgent warning, and you have taken the action necessary to ensure a year of blessings. The rosemary you place in your home will be the silent witness of the miracles that are about to manifest in your economic and family life. Stay in this state of deep gratitude, for gratitude is the key that keeps open the doors that heaven has just opened for you today. Everything is fulfilled, the prophecy is revealed, and you are chosen. From this blessed moment on, you will notice subtle but deep changes in the coexistence with your loved ones and in your own daily clarity. The obstacles that seemed like impassable walls will begin to crumble before your new spiritual authority and your renewed faith in this act. Remember to care for your rosemary plant as a living reminder of this sacred commitment you have made with your own peace and with Mary. Every time you feel that doubt or fear tries to return to your mind, go near it, touch its leaves, and remember the prayer we did today. This video will remain as a digital sanctuary where you can return whenever you need to remember that heaven has a victory plan for you. Do not forget to share this message with those you love most so the chain of protection extends and more homes are saved right now. The light you have received today is not just for you. It is to shine and give warmth to everyone around you in this world of shadows. January ends, but the blessing you activated is just beginning. Thank you for having remained with me until the very last second of this extensive video, proving your commitment to God is unbreakable. Your faithfulness has been rewarded with this hidden knowledge and with the peace that now resides in your heart permanently and safely. I invite you to leave an amen in the comments to confirm your reception of this grace and to join us all in one single voice. May the Virgin Mary bless you, keep you, and guide you in every step you take during all this new year that is now truly beginning for you. We will meet again in a future revelation, always seeking the truth that makes us free and protected under the blue and celestial mantle. Go in peace with the security that your home is now a garden of light where the enemy has no power at all and shall never enter your door. Until next time, dear brother and sister of faith, may the peace of the Lord be always with all of you and your beloved sacred families.